The Necro. I know it's sick, it has been said my perversion's nothing good, but it's only women who are dead that ever give me wood. My fetish is particular, not easy to appease, no decomposing lovers, only recently deceased. So if I'm feeling horny and I really want some sex, I find a pretty lady, and I break her fucking neck. Take this damsel here right now, the one I'm copulating with. I snapped her vertebrae in half. We sexed like two rabbits. Though I find it hard to focus with her children in the corner, it is a little hot to hear them crying as I bone her. Don't even think of scolding. They won't share their mother's fate. I have my ethics too. I'm not into jailbait. Pedophilia is just plain wrong, plus I find it rather crude to have relations with a kid besides. I never play with food. Woe is murder. I stabbed, I jabbed, stuck him in the abs with the biggest of all my knives. I choked the bloke, I strangled his throat, till I knew he could not be revived. I torched the dork, his body was scorched, he screamed while I burned him alive. I dunked the chunk in the river, he sunk cement shoes to assist with his dive. I wish that this could be the finish, but no matter how hard I strive, the guy won't die. Every method I've tried. But somehow, he just always survives. Hope for the afterlife. I hope that when I die, there's burning and demons with pitchforks. I hope that when I meet the devil, he'll have goat feet and twisted horns. I hope that the smell is putrid and the sights assault my eyes. I hope that no one shows me mercy, no matter how I cry. I hope they fill my mouth with maggots till I cannot scream or talk. I hope nightmarish, nasty birds peck at my face between their squawks. I hope they light my hair on fire while I shriek and howl in pain. I hope they laugh and they make jokes. I hope this happens every day. I hope they make me watch in vain as they peel off my young son's skin. I hope they break one of my mother's bones for every time I ever sinned. I hope the afterlife is awful and agony is ever persisting. As long as when I die, I don't just stop existing. Six evenings. On evening number 1, before I fell asleep, I couldn't shake the feeling. There was something watching me. On evening number 2, I hoped that it was in my head, the faint but constant noise I heard underneath my bed. By evening number 3, I knew that it was no delusion, 'cause in the corner of my room I could swear that I saw movement. On evening number 4, I was given quite a fright when the vile, nasty creature showed itself in the moonlight. On evening number 5, I saw the monster's jagged teeth when it crawled itself inside my bed and in between my sheets. It's evening number 6, and I don't know what to do. It gets more aggressive every night and uglier to boot. It is not death I fear, it's planned for me a much worse fate, 'cause last evening when it came to me, it said it wants to mate. What's for dinner? My folks want to have you for dinner, his girlfriend lovingly said, though her eyes had look of a sinner. He couldn't pass up a chance to be fed. He arrived with some wine from a vineyard, a bottle of Chateau Le Red. Her parents invited him inward. He complied with the utmost respect. Now this may come as a bit of a stinger, his girlfriend's mother confessed, but my husband and I are man-eaters, and I'm afraid you'll taste better dead. They expected to hear the man whimper, or to get on his knees and to beg, but his actions just left them bewildered, 'cause he laid on the table instead. Make sure that you start with my liver, he instructed with no hint of dread. It pairs well with the rest of my innards. Then he sprinkled some salt on his head. The necro strikes again. I had just finished my dinner when I got the itch again to put my Jimmy up inside a pretty dead woman. Now remember what I told you, I don't like rotting bodies. That's why all the ladies that I fuck are freshly murdered hotties. But there was one woman in my mind whom I had to be with next. For years I had been fantasizing about us having sex. I snuck right through her window in the dark when it was night. and naked as a jaybird, pounced on her with all my might. I put my hands around her neck and strangled her in bed. Then I sensually undressed her once I knew that she was dead. The partner of my dreams. I was just about to climax when I heard a child scream. The lights went on, and in the door it was my little brother. In a scared and frightened voice, he said, "What have you done to Mother?"